This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 1st day of April in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. The $6.9 million College of Medical Sciences building at the University of Guyana was commissioned today by President Irfaan Ali. With funding from the government of Guyana and the World Bank, the facility includes a 200-capacity lecture theater and several science and research laboratories. President Ali said the multi-million-dollar project was conceptualized back in 2013. However, it was not until 2017 that a project loan agreement with the World Bank was signed. Though the loan agreement was in place, the project faced a number of delays, attributed in part to the COVID-19 pandemic. It was not until November of 2023 that the sod was turned, signaling the start of construction for the project.
Unfortunately, we were in the period of COVID at the same time, and many countries were negotiating with the World Bank the reassignment of resources to COVID programs. We were one of the only countries, and the World Bank and IDB will tell you this, who kept our portfolio intact whilst at the same time investing in COVID and developing one of the best COVID response systems here regionally and internationally. When we did that, we were able to keep this project on track. And in what I would say historic time, we rescheduled the implementation timeline. We went on accelerated negotiations, had the project signed and completed, and here we are today. That is the project timeline, and it's important for us to understand that.
The president challenged students of the College of Medical Sciences to capitalize on the high level of resources available within the institute, to champion research, and to better position the University of Guyana on the international stage.
The medical college now must be able to produce high quality papers, must be able to be part of an international network in which we can punch pound for pound, in which we can position ourselves as a leader. So these investments are not just another piece of investment. We're investing in the best because there is a vision behind it. There is a strategy behind it.
And the Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana, Professor Paloma Mohammed, said that the project is the culmination of decades of long needs filled.
It's taken us about 10 years to design, redesign, and adjust the requirements. Changes have been made, new programs have been added. And in the last 5 years, we expanded our numbers, adding 1,000 students overall a year. One of the only universities in this region to have done that. And it's a slow march to fulfilling the university's first blueprint aspirational goal of at least one graduate per household.
Professor Mohammed said with the building now completed, the College of Medical Sciences will now be able to accept 40% more of the students it previously accepted into the medical program.
We spoke of the heartache of so many students who apply to our medical school every year. Students that we tell, if you work hard, you do well, and you have the grades, this country is going to support your dreams. And then when they would have applied with the grades, we would have had to say to about 2/3 of them, we're sorry, you've made the grade, but we can't take you. We don't have the space. I believe that you, Mr. President, Minister, everybody in this country who holds a position would have had calls from parents begging, crying, students who have indicated they would do anything to get into the medical school. And now, even though we still can't take every single person who can apply, I'm happy to say that this building today allows us to take in about 40% more students in the medical school than we have been able to take.
The college was built by the Shandong High-Speed Dijon Group Limited. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean it's time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Quartz, we've got you. Save up to $50,000 on select fridges. Get a free grill or mixer with select stoves and more. Need to upgrade your home? Get smart TVs from as low as $32,999. Plus, shop today and pay later. And make your first payment in 30 days with Quartz Ready Finance. Whatever you need, we've got you. Only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offer ends April 23, 2025.
Welcome back. Well, outspoken Guyanese activist Melissa Atwell-Holder, also known as Melly, has promised that she will continue her activism. And she has laid blame for her recent detention in the U.S. squarely at the feet of the Guyana government and its hired lobbying firm. U.S. registration information recently revealed that the government of Guyana has hired the services of a U.S. lobbying firm at a cost of $50,000 US per month. Atwell-Holder spent 2 weeks in the custody of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency and appeared in court last Friday on an immigration matter. She was granted bond in the sum of $7,500 US and has since returned to her New York home. In a statement on her social media page this afternoon, the activist said there is no doubt that the government of Guyana was involved in triggering her detention in the U.S. She said the personal information, which was revealed through political operatives of the Guyana government, could not have been known unless there was someone on the inside of the U.S. bureaucracy feeding the information to a lobbying firm, which she believes passed that information on to PPP sources in Guyana. Moments after her early morning arrest at her New York home, the information became public locally through social media posts by a number of persons closely linked to the government of Guyana. She said no one in Guyana could have known so quickly that she was being detained and taken to ICE office at the early morning hour. Additionally, she pointed out that her U.S. identification numbers were leaked and passed on to persons linked to the government of Guyana and later published on social media. According to Atwell-Holder, the PPP activist who called U.S. immigration specifically made reference to a 2-day overstay in the U.S. before her marriage, using that as a loophole for their complaint. She said ICE also received more than 25 complaints about her marriage more than 2 years ago being a business wedding, although that turned out to be false, and she was arrested at a home she shares with her husband. The activist accused the government of Guyana of trying everything and failing until it hired a lobbying firm, which she said was able to use its connections and point out the alleged overstay issue. She said her detention has destroyed the narrative that she has been tied to criminals or criminal activities. During her court appearance last Friday, her attorney pointed out and the U.S. government agreed that she has no criminal record and was not a flight risk. The judge hearing the case questioned the reason for her arrest and detention, pointing out that her marriage and the approval by the U.S. of the immigration petition by her spouse would have waived the overstay issue. Today, a combative Melly said she will not go silent with her activism, stating that the PPP has made her bigger than before. She said during her detention she received support from a number of U.S. and international organizations, and she will continue to expose acts of corruption within the government of Guyana. She said none of her sources have been compromised, and her work as an activist is only now getting started. She also offered thanks to her supporters. The government of Guyana has repeatedly denied that it played any role in the activist detention. Atwell Holder has been a fierce critic of the government and has highlighted and exposed several reported acts of corruption within the government. With growing complaints from motorists about the impact of the repair works along the Soesdyke-Linden highway and the damage being done to their vehicles, Minister of Public Works Juan Edgil traveled along the highway this morning to observe the reconstruction works and meet with the contractors and stakeholders. The minister said he intends to meet with the traffic department of the Guyana Police Force about readjusting the speed limit along the roadway during its construction period. He said although the highway is under construction, many drivers continue to speed along it, posing a threat to other drivers and the construction workers.
So we will have to work with the traffic chief and agree on a new speed limit, and we will for construction, and we will have to put up those signs in the interest of ensuring compliance. But the big issue here right now is that people have to slow down.
Last year, a $161 million contract was signed for the construction of the 73-kilometer highway. As part of the reconstruction, the entire highway is being dug up and replaced with new bases to cater for the increase in the number of vehicles that traverse the highway daily. Against that backdrop, Mr. Edgil said speeding on the highway that has been dug up poses serious risk.
We can't be speeding in the construction zone, that's one, because the people who are working on that zone are at risk, but you're also putting yourself at risk by speeding on a surface that is not completed. Speeding on a surface that has been crusher run or it got stones, would cause pebbles to fling up in the air, break other people's windscreen. The crusher run has fines in it, so you'll have dust. So the first thing that we have to do here is to get everybody to calm down and slow down.
The Works Minister said the aim of his visit was to engage stakeholders on how works can proceed smoothly without disruptions while maintaining safety. Many drivers said the works should have been done in phases and on different sides of the highway to cater for the regular flow of traffic. The Soesdyke-Linden highway was built and opened back in 1969. Over the years, more than $25 million has been spent on its rehabilitation. It is the key roadway linking the coastland and the hinterland through the mining town of Linden. Well, tonight the Mayor of Linden, Sharma Solomon, is expressing his displeasure over the failure of the Ministry of Public Works to engage the Mayor and Town Council of Linden and the wider community on the ongoing works on the Soesdyke-Linden Highway, despite the threats posed by the ongoing works. Earlier today, Works Minister Juan Edgil visited the construction site to meet with contractors. In an interview with News Source from his office this morning, Mayor Solomon said some of the discussions should have been held with the town council so that the council could have communicated to the citizens of Linden long before the roadworks started.
Well, I think it's most unfortunate we continue to see this repeated behavior of inconsiderate actions by the government in the name of development. I think what we see is a fundamental breach of a constitutional obligation by the government to articulate clearly what they are doing as it relates to any decisions that are going to impact the lives of Guyanese as outlined in Article 30.
The mayor told News Source that the failure of the Works Ministry to engage the mayor and town council has forced the council to hold its own public engagement, to engage with commuters and residents, and to listen to their concerns. He believes that it was because of his public statements that the minister visited the work site this morning.
So we have not met with the minister. It is based on that public pronouncement that we have seen some action. Whether the protocols, as the minister is saying, were followed, I want persons to appreciate that we have no regret in the fact that we have sounded an alarm of concerns that the road is being done. We have not been properly engaged by the protocol of the ministry to have a continuous engagement and update. And at the same time, serious concerns are being raised with the state of the road and the condition and threats that it poses to commuters.
Solomon said he has no regret of raising an alarm for persons to be aware of what is taking place. He said some commuters have complained that when it rains, slush and craters are noticeable on the highway. And when it's dry, it's dusty, making it difficult for drivers to navigate.
So those things that the council saw are very concerning, and we put that public statement to say we have been engaging with representatives and we want to extend that to the widest stakeholdership for a better engagement.
Construction works along the highway are expected to last for several months. Many drivers have publicly expressed their concern over the state of the highway during the reconstruction and the damage being done to their vehicles.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Need small appliance for your kitchen? Giftland have it. Need fridge or stove? Giftland have it. Speakers or laptop? Giftland have it. I'm telling you, Giftland have everything. And don't get me started on TVs. 58-inch, 65-inch, 70-inch, 75-inch. All sizes in leading brands. Best thing about it, they give a warranty. Man, Giftland is the place for all your electronics purchases.
Washi. Hi people, washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washi me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright, have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Starbrook Market.
Buster presenting the new 500 milliliter. Wow, Buster flavorful. Make every meal better. Grab a bus, stop a drink, bus a move. Taste this. 500 ml, that's it. Buster for this, that's cool. Buster 500 milliliter is a brand new choice of my drink with my food. Vibing every munch, that's smooth. Introducing the new Buster 500 milliliter. Grab a bottle with your lunch today.
Now let's tell you that Georgetown Mayor Alfred Mentor today said the City Council is prepared to challenge the Minister of Local Government, Sonia Parag, in court should there be any attempt by her to block the municipality from waiving the interest on outstanding rates and taxes owed by property owners here in the city of Georgetown. In an interview with News Source today, the city mayor maintained that the council has the power to waive the interest on outstanding rates and taxes, in keeping with a policy decision taken to increase its revenue.
If Mentor as mayor, along with the other councillors, have chosen to put measures and create ways and means of how we do those things, there's no government should get involved in that, and I'll be seeking I've already spoken to attorneys, and that if this matter has to go to court, it will go to court.
In a letter on the 26th of March, Minister Parag told the city mayor that a move to adopt a financial regulation that would see the municipality waiving the interest on outstanding rates and taxes owed by property owners in the city is unlawful and unauthorized. Pointing to Section 146(1) of the Municipal and District Councils Act, the Minister of Local Government told the mayor that the law vests the authority to make financial regulations in the Minister of Local Government. She also noted that she has approached the Office of the Attorney General and is prepared to take the matter as far as is necessary. The city mayor said he has also been consulting a battery of lawyers, and the council stands ready to defend its position in court. Defending the decision taken, the mayor explained that it is intended to increase the council's revenue base, while encouraging city residents to pay up the owed rates and taxes, but not burdening them with the added interest. It was explained that at present 45% of property owners within the city of Georgetown are defaulting on their rates and taxes, and the council is prepared to waive a percentage of the interest generated on those rates and taxes owed.
Bring it to a point of increasing our inflows, our cash inflows, and our revenues. We had to find measures to be able to incentivize the people to pay. So we have, based on the 45% of the people that are not paying their taxes and not honoring their obligations to the council, we've decided that we'll have to reach out to them.
The mayor clarified that a waiver is not on the rates and taxes owed, but rather the interest generated. Each situation, he said, is unique, and the waiver and the magnitude of it would be based on the financial challenges confronting defaulters.
The demand of the still remains the same. Nobody demand cannot change. The demand is based on valuation for rating purposes as it speaks to what people should pay. But because you haven't been paying, and that interest add up to hundreds of millions of dollars, many persons, you go to the bank when people can't pay the mortgage over time, the bank is giving them a discount. The regulator for the bank is the Bank of Guyana, but the bank is the authority on giving that thing, and they report that information to the bank, to the central bank. Central government give discounts and benefits and concessions to the oil people, all them people who coming into Guyana, all those investors. We as a council with authority to so do would like to help and assist our people, our persons, our citizens who having a challenge, that there's no government should be able to interfere with that process.
Mayor Mentor said already more than 20 property owners have already visited the council since the decision was taken to settle their accounts. He said the move could see the council raking in millions of dollars, thereby allowing the municipality to meet its financial obligations, including raising the salaries of its workers in keeping with an agreement signed with their union. Long-standing commissioner at the Guyana Elections Commission, Vincent Alexander, is warning that a system of representative democracy in Guyana can become skewed if Guyanese are allowed to vote anywhere regardless of their address. Alexander weighed in on the issue last Friday, moments after the attorneys in the house-to-house verification case wrapped up their arguments in the High Court before the acting Chief Justice. Attorney General Anil Nandlal, who is among the respondents in the case, has argued that residency is not a requirement for voting in Guyana as outlined by Article 159 of the Constitution. He said as such there is no need for verification of residence. But Alexander, who sat through Friday's oral arguments, explained that while Article 159 sets out the conditions for voting, there are other constitutional and legal conditions for voting in regional, local, and the constituency component of general elections. Citing Article 9 of the Constitution, he said it speaks to the system of representative democracy, where leaders are elected by the people they represent.
If you're talking about the representative nature of something, you're talking about the relationship between the voter and the representative. You can't have a relationship between a voter and a representative, where a voter can decide where he's going to be voting when in fact he or she might not be living there. That corrupts the democracy, which requires voters in relation to local elections, regional elections, and the constituency element of the elections to vote for their representatives.
In the case of regional elections, Article 73(1) of the Constitution states that members of a regional democratic council shall be elected by persons residing in the region and registered as electors for the purpose of Article 159. Alexander said it is therefore important for the addresses of voters to be verified before they are registered for that election and allowed to vote.
Your representation has to do with the fact that that organ makes decisions in relation to you where you reside. And so you can't give an address just because you want to give an address and then go and vote and have a result which then skews the result, because the people there are in some regards disenfranchised because their vote no longer has the weight and value it should have, because people who do not belong there would have casted a vote there and therefore to skew the results for the particular local area, regional area, and constituency.
He said the case brought by the PNC Reform's Chief Scrutineer Carol Smith-Joseph does not only speak to general elections, but also addresses the issue of registration for local, regional, and general elections, and highlights the importance of verification.
So we have to look and ask ourselves the question, why did we introduce in 1980 a system of local democracy with a principle in the Constitution, which is a superior law in the context of what is being referred to, that cannot be changed without a two-thirds majority, which specifies the representative nature of our democracy, and the fact that the local people are electing their representatives to make decisions on their behalf. How could you have others then step in as a matter of choice to go and vote where they don't belong?
Last Friday, the counsel for the Guyana Elections Commission, Kurt De Silva, told the court that as outlined in Article 73, residency is still a constitutional requirement for Guyanese to vote in regional elections, and addresses provided by persons seeking to register for those elections must be verified. The acting Chief Justice will hand down her ruling in the case on the 3rd of April. On the police blotter tonight, police investigators have arrested a 26-year-old man from Friendship on the east bank of Demerara. He was nabbed today with $180,000 in $5,000 bills that are suspected to be counterfeit notes. The suspect, Tristan Franklin, was nabbed by the police after a bank's DIH cashier at the company's Stabroek location reported that the man had paid her for a quantity of beverages with $5,000 bills that appeared to be fake. The woman handed over the $80,000 that the suspect had paid her to the police and pointed him out since he was still in the Stabroek area. Police investigators apprehended the suspect and escorted him to the Breakdown police station. The police said a search of a haversack that a man had in his possession revealed another $180,000 in $5,000 bills, all suspected to be forged. The suspect remains in custody as the bills are being further probed by the forensic lab. The investigations are ongoing tonight.
Yeah, you already know it's yours truly, Nanny Katoy, the queen of zest.
If you take people, man, clap your hand, boy. If you take people, man, clap your hand.
Wait, Bobby?
Hi, Granny.
You know the Nelly song?
How you mean? Plus, she coming for a creek explosion Sunday, April 20th.
Creek explosion? Which creek? And is who bringing she?
The creek by Splash Main, Aziza Akusa, and his Team Extra bringing she.
Team Extra? Let me call Freddie.
Hello, Granny.
Hi, bye.
What going on?
You bringing Nelly Katoy and you didn't even put me on the show? Like you was a kunumunu or what?
Don't say fat, you're booking you now.
Galang, Granny.
Let me see the flyer. Oh, female dancing competition over 160,000 given away. Plus male dance off for one motorbike.
Music by Bobby Kush, DJ Magnum, DJ Garwin, David Hype, and Papa Feelings.
I giddy up and get your early bird tickets for $2,000 at Team Extra Stabrook Market. Just your size boutique, White Castle Fish Shop, and Fireside Sweets. Brick Explosion, compliments of Fireside and Team Extra.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. The Barbados-based Caribbean Climate Outlook Forum, CARICOF, says a Caribbean heat season with heat waves will most likely begin occurring as early as April and gradually ramping up, but is unlikely to match 2023 and 2024. According to CMC, CARICOF, in its latest Caribbean Climate Outlooks for the upcoming period April to June, released on Monday, said that this is due to El Nino Southern Oscillation, neutral conditions in the Pacific, combined with unusually warm waters around the Caribbean and temporarily cooler waters in the eastern tropical North Atlantic. It is also predicting that in April, high evaporation rates, Frequent short dry spells and buildup of any ongoing drought will increase wildfire potential. Karikoff says except for the mostly dry ABC Islands, rainfall intensity and shower frequency should rise towards May in the Bahamas, Guyanas, and Greater Antilles, or June in Belize and the Lesser Antilles, resulting in high to extremely high potential for flooding, flash floods, cascading hazards, and associated impact. Gang members stormed into a town in central Haiti on Monday and released about 500 inmates from prison, according to the BBC. A spokesman for Haiti's National Police said extra officers had been deployed to the town, which is located 30 miles northeast of the capital, Port-au-Prince. Police officials said they had regained control of the town, but local reports warned that many of the escaped inmates were still roaming the streets. Armed gangs are in control of almost the entire capital, but this latest attack seems to suggest that they are increasingly targeting towns in other areas of the country. The attack came just days after the Multinational Security Support Mission MSS in Haiti confirmed that a Kenyan police officer had been shot dead in a gang attack. The multinational force has been trying to help Haiti's national police regain control of gang-ruled areas, but locals say they have so far made little progress. In total, more than 5,600 people were killed in Haiti last year as a result of gang violence, according to the United Nations figures. And finally tonight, international news. China staged military drills off Taiwan's north, south, and east coasts on Tuesday as a stern warning against separatism and called the Taiwanese president a parasite as Taiwan sent warships to respond to China's navy approaching its shores. Reuters in a report said the exercise, which China has not formally named unlike war games last year, are happening after a rise in Chinese rhetoric against the president and follow on the heels of U.S. Defense Secretary's Asia visit, during which he repeatedly criticized Beijing. China's military deployed ships, aircraft, and artillery to practice blockading the island, strikes on ground and maritime targets, and air interception to test forces' coordination in combat, Beijing's Eastern Theater Command said in a statement. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.